there, DG Army! It's me, Mickey! Oh boy, do I have a video for you! Just kidding, guys. It's Nethervoid, also known as John, doing another patch video. That was just... We were having this stupid contest in the car, Andrew, Punk, and I, on who could do the better Mickey voice, which... Who cares? But it's fun, and you're in the car, you're not doing anything else anyway. So anyway, this is the last test video I've got for you. This is actually from the test server, and I'm doing the FV215B. This is the tier 10 heavy for the British. It's a pretty decent tank. We're going to look at some stats when we see the end plates here. But we'll look at the penetration while we're just sitting here, and then I'm going to fast forward it. 269 pen, 400 damage gun. Pretty nice. A lot like the newer tier 10 guns that they're putting into action here. Not huge damage, but definitely huge pen. And this is a pretty decent tank. I really like its speed. Basically, it feels like a slab of concrete with a gun on top of it. It's kind of what it feels like. I mean, look at this. Look at that profile right there. It's a very fun tank to play from what I played. I don't like that the turret is reverse mounted like that. It does make it hard to play peekaboo because you have to stick half your tank out to do it. And anybody who's played the 4502 will tell you the same thing. But it's still definitely a fun tank. The gun is really awesome. I think it's definitely going to do well. I don't think it's better than the T110E5.
For the reasons
being because the turret is rear mounted. I don't think that's better. You have to expose a lot more of your tank to get a shot off. Also, because I don't think the armor is as good. And you're going to see in this game how I get some shots off here. And basically that E100 is just trying to block my shot because he's Russian. I figured out, I think, anyway. Why? It's got some lag there for some reason. You're going to see why later in this match. Now, I don't have the mod pack installed here, but I do have the mod pack installed on my regular client. I just haven't installed it on the 8.1 client, 8.1 test client, I mean. And I might not, just depending, because this is again, like I said, my last test video. But go check out the mod pack. You should see a link in either the description of this video, or there's a link in this video where you can go see all my mod links and all that stuff. That's probably the one I actually have in this one. Also, watch this. Here's another 215B. I shot him right through the turret right there. And I wish I could zoom in to show you, but I shot him basically right on the left side there in the flatter part, kind of. Again, I shot him again in the turret right there. You didn't get to see that, but it was another shot in the turret, went right through. So not really great armor on this thing, and I just missed that shot. But I know it's 269 pen. You shouldn't. Now here's one right in the side, in the front, penned there too. Now I'm not saying that the T110E5 will bounce every shot. It won't, but it does bounce a lot of shots. And from the limited games I've played with this tank, against this tank anyways, you're going to see right here. Just doesn't feel that strong. Now here's right through the front plate, bam, no problem. At an angle even. So I don't think this is that great of a tank. It's a good tank. It's very quick. I like that. I like the speed of it. The traverse is pretty good. And again, the gun is really amazing. The aim time seems to be pretty good. We'll be able to look at the stats more on the when we get to the end plates here. But I still think the T110 is better. I also think the IS-7 is better than this. In fact, in my opinion, the IS-4 is better than this tank, I think. Just because, anyway, again, with the limited experience I have fighting against it, which is just a few games, it seems very soft. And what you really need in your big heavies is, you don't have to be totally impenetrable, but you really do need speed. Speed's the first thing you're going to look for. But you have to be able to bounce some shots. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere without being able to bounce anything. I mean, you might as well play a French tank at that point, where you can get, you know, four shots before you have to reload and put out like over 2,000 damage. So we're doing pretty good here. I had to go back to stop their cap. Our guys are capping now, so that's good. And a lot of our teammates went back to jack these dudes up. Kind of trying to get out there so this guy didn't get surrounded. I'm going to let him... He takes his shot. He almost dies. Trying to get past him so I can do my job as the heavy and soak up some damage. I haven't even taken a shot yet. And he just drives out there right in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, dude, let me get... Oh, and he dies. So a big part of that, a big part of the problem there, is he's not letting me get out there to take some hits. Now I'm taking some hits. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That Frenchie is really tearing me a new one. Let's start working on him. That is tier 10 French right there. So again, I'm ripping through his armor, obviously, but it doesn't seem. I'm sure the 45, you know, the 215B that I'm driving right here has good armor. Oh, now I'm getting shot by a teammate here. I really can't tell you why that is, but it doesn't matter. We won, so let's look at the end plate. So here's the first end plate here. I got a Mastery 2 badge, so top 80%, 1340 XP, pretty nice. Damaged, killed 2, damaged 4, pretty nice game here. Let's look at that second plate. Let's see what we got here. Top 2 of XP, beat me by about 100. That T50-2 must have been really good at scouting there. And I think it's because this thing puts out so much damage. And let's look at how much damage I did put out. 3,500 damage caused on a 2,600 hit point tank. 2,600 hit points is pretty good for a tier 10, actually. I think the E100 and Mouse have a little bit more than that, but the other tanks have a little bit less. So the British tier 10 heavy seems to have a pretty decent amount of hit points, and that's good since the armor doesn't seem to be too good. 950 horsepower engine pushing 66 tons, and that's why the speed on this thing is pretty good, actually. That's about 15 to 1 right there, power to weight ratio, pretty nice. Speed limit 34, I definitely was getting close to that. Felt pretty speedy. 38 traverse on the tracks is really good, and 34 on the turret. That's actually insanely good for a heavy. That's what's that? 72 total traverse. That's really nice. Now here's where it gets kind of crappy. 130 hull armor, fairly angled, I guess, but there's some flat spots. 152 turret armor, and it's got that weird angling on it and stuff, but I found some flat spots in the front and went right through it. I don't know if it has the same kind of weird turret armor that the Russian TDs have, or I mean Russian turrets, where the actual really thick part is in the front where the flat part is, and it gets thinner as it goes up to the top. And again, the side armor on the hull and the turret under 100, really lame. Pretty bad armor on this thing. 400 view range, really nice view range for this tank. It seems maybe more of a sniper tank a little bit, but you're definitely gonna have to push. Tier 10 heavies cannot snipe. You cannot snipe. If you're the French tier 10 heavy, you can get away with not being a brawler because you're mainly just DPS. You're a glass cannon. You pop off your more than 2,000 damage, and then go hide for a little while. But everybody else has to get in people's face because you're out there to soak damage. Hopefully ding some shots, try to take some fire on you, let the other guys jack people up, and you also jack people up with your gun. 750 signal range on the radio, that's all you're ever going to need. There's no big deal there, no big secret surprise. So overall, pretty good tank. I would say, I think for tanks, it's still IS-7, T110E5, IS-4, then probably, wait, I thought we had 5 lines now. Yeah, okay, I just covered, so French, British, what's the other one? There's another one. German, oh, duh, because their tanks are so sucky. Okay, then I would say this tank, probably the 215B, then I would say probably the French tank, I think. Then I would say the German tanks. I just don't think they really need upgrade. They're just not that great. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about this tank. Thanks for coming to this patch video. Let me know what you think about this 215B. If you've had a chance to play it or play against it, let me know what you think. Later, dudes.